President Trump wants to streamline the regulation process for artificial intelligence and powering artificial intelligence. That's one of the topics we want to discuss tonight with Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Mr. Secretary, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here, Brett.
So about powering AI, it's one of the questions that comes up all the time as we see the expansion and what exactly is going to happen. What is needed and what did today do towards that goal?
With this pen today, President Trump signed an historic mission. This is reminiscent of the Manhattan Project that brought World War II to an early and successful end, similar to the Apollo projects that put a man on the moon in 1969. This is an all-in national effort to take the power of AI and pair it with the 40,000 outstanding scientists and engineers at our national labs to use the world's largest supercomputers to advance innovation and science, to fix our rising energy costs, to give better economic opportunities for our citizens, to make longer and healthier lives possible. Today was not incremental, Brett. It was transformative.
So it's like a moonshot for energy to be able to power the things that we think we're going to do with AI.
The project today, well, energy, of course, is one of the great things we'll get out of it. But the project announced today is really about applying AI to science and to engineering and to national security. What we've seen so far is AI applied to language, to search the internet, to find things, to make businesses more efficient or deliver consumer services. This is to pivot over and use that same power, but to use the incredible data sets from our national labs to actually advance scientific progress, scientific discovery, engineering, solve the problem of our electricity grid, a creaky old system that's unstable and has become more expensive. We've got to use smarter science, smarter technology to advance things that better American lives. Yes, we need energy to do that, but that's just one of the enablers of AI. What President Trump signed today, launching this Genesis mission, is going to bring together industry, the national labs, data sets, all tied together in a closed-loop system to just rapidly advance the pace of scientific and engineering progress. It will be transformative. You will see in the coming years.
It's fascinating to hear about it, and it's a forward vision. But going back to just the energy question, because everyone who talks about AI acknowledges that the U.S. may have an issue just finding the energy for all of these data centers. We did a whole series of stories on artificial intelligence, and that was one of the things that kept on coming up. Take a listen.
The plans for the largest computing clusters to run the largest AI algorithms in the world in the not too distant future is in the range of 1 gigawatt to 5 gigawatts. 1 gigawatt is about one Hoover Dam worth of electricity. So imagine 5 Hoover dams being used to just power one data center full of one company's AI. That's a future that we're headed towards quite quickly.
So how do we get that and still prevent people's electricity costs and energy costs from going up?
No, great question, Brett. So that is going to take a lot of changes. We've seen surging American oil production, surging American natural gas production over the last 10 years, but not electricity production. Just a different regulatory bureaucracy that has smothered growth in electricity. And of course, Biden-era policies that wanted to subtract. They wanted to close power plants much more than they wanted to build power plants. Of course, we've reversed that. We've stopped closing coal power plants. We've made it easy and quick to power new power plants. We're going to enable existing power plants to up their output. We're going to take backup generators that are already at data centers or behind the back of a Walmart and bring those on when we need extra electricity production. We're going to do a lot of creative things with transmission lines. So we will find tens of gigawatts of new transmission capacity on our existing grid. And to your point about costs, if you look carefully at the data over the last 5 years, the states that have had the fastest growth in electricity demand, like North Dakota leads the list at over 30% growth in electricity demand, their rates have gone down. Texas and Nebraska, rapid growth in electricity demand, very modest price increases. On the other hand, California, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, they've seen declines in their demand for electricity over the last 5 years and huge price increases. So ultimately, increased demand is going to be a tailwind for lower prices. We're going to have a better, more affordable grid 5 years from now with vastly increased capacity and in America leading in the AI race.
Yeah, and for people now, you know, if you look at the latest energy inflation data, this is September inflation data, you know, you can see energy going up, electricity going up, gasoline a little bit down, gas service up. And if you look at the average gas price, these are two different things to look at, but steady from 1 year ago, it's about roughly the same, $3.07, $3.06. I guess my question is, will people feel a different energy cost into the new year, quarter one, quarter two, do you think?
I think you'll soon see a stop in the rise of electricity prices. We're going to achieve that, I think, hopefully in the first half of 2026, the stop of the rises. But during the Trump administration, you will see a downward trend before the administration's over, a downward trend in the price of electricity in most all states that are open to building new infrastructure, that are building data centers, that are building power plants, that are building pipelines. We will see overall a downward national trend in the price of electricity.
Well, Mr. Secretary, we appreciate the time on a day like this. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.